let me take two questions quickly. We'll discuss and revise two questions from quadratic. Okay, the question is that the area of a right angle triangle is 600 centimeter square. Quickly coming to the question number one for today is that a right angle triangle is given to you. Okay, and the right angle triangle is looking like this mostly. Okay, and this is one of the angle which is 90 degree. Now, my dear friends, it's given that the area of the right triangle is given to you as 600 centimeter square. So the area of this right angle triangle is given to you as 600 centimeter square, right? This is the data given to you into the question. And if the base of the triangle exceeds the altitude by 10 centimeter, so that means here it is the base and here this is the altitude which is represented by P, right? Should I write it? Let me write it as this is an altitude and this is the base, right? So into this question it has been given that the base of the triangle exceeds the altitude by 10 centimeter. So base is exceeding from altitude. So what we need to assume? We need to assume the altitude. So let us assume the altitude as equal to x, right? Let us assume, let altitude of this right angle triangle is equal to x. If this is x, then as per the question, it's given that base is exceeding the altitude by 10. So we can write that yes, base is exceeding by 10. Base is exceeding by 10, that means we can say that if altitude is x, which is equal to P, this one we have assumed it, we have let it, we have assumed, then base will be how much? Base will be x plus this number 10, this number 10, right? With this, my dear friend, we need to find the dimensions of the triangle. Okay, that means the perpendicular, altitude, base and the hypotenuse, right? We need to find P, B and H equal to what? If we are saying this is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle, right? So from this, my dear friends, it's given that we use the relation that the area of the triangle is given to you as 600 centimeters square. So why don't you use the formula to calculate the area? Area is given at 600 centimeters square and this is a right angle triangle. So we can say that half into base into height, base is B and height is P, will be equal to 600, isn't it? Now simply put up the value of base. This will be half into base. Base is nothing but x plus 10. So put the value of x plus 10 over here and perpendicular. Perpendicular is your altitude which we have assumed as x. So write the value of x over here and this is equal to 600. Just solve it to get the value of x. So into the LHS we have x square plus 10x is equal to 2 into 600 equal to 1200. So this will give you x square plus 10x minus 1200 equal to 0. 40 into 30 is 1200. So we can write it as x square plus 40x minus 30x. When we just splitted the middle term. So this 10x is splitted into 40x and minus 30x, right? And when you multiply it, you get the product of the first and last term. You are having the concept of the middle term is splitting, right? That I am assuming. When x is taken common from the first two terms, we are left with x plus 40, and when minus 30 is taken common from the last two terms, we are left with x plus 40, right? So this will give you x plus 40, because this is common in both the terms as common, and x minus 30 is left, right? This will give you the value of x as equal to minus 40, right, from this one, and the another value of x as equal to 30. Tell me, my dear friends, can we have some length in negative? Never. So this answer is wrong. X equal to minus 40 will not be the right answer. But we will take x equal to 30. This will be the right answer because this is the positive value. And the length of any triangle could not be negative, right? So in this way, what we have assumed for x, x is assumed for the perpendicular here, the altitude. So with this we can say that the altitude, one of the dimension, the altitude is calculated, and that is equal to 30 centimeter, my dear friends. And this is done. Now what is the base? Base is x plus 10. If you are knowing the value of x, put it over here. So x is 30. So 30 plus 10 is equal to 40. So my dear friends, the base is calculated as equal to 40 here, and perpendicular is equal to 30, which we have already did it. Now what is the dimension of hypotenuse? Just apply the Pythagoras, and root over of h is, can be calculated as root over of h square plus p is h square, b square plus p square. What is b square? B square is 40 square. This is 30 square. 40 square is 1600. 30 square is 900. When you just add it, you will get root over of 2500, which is 50. So 50 cm is the dimension of your hypotenuse, my dear friends. So this will give you all the dimensions of this triangle, right? We get the perpendicular altitude, we get the base, we get the hypotenuse, right? And in this way this question is solved, my dear friends. Quickly going to the next question, my dear friend. The area of right angle triangle is 96 square meter. So the area of the right triangle is given to you as 96 square meter. So let us again draw a right angle triangle again like this. Okay, area of this is given as 96 meter square, right? Now the question is that if the base is 3 times the altitude, base is 3 times the altitude, so this will be the base, right? And this will be the altitude. This will be the altitude. Let us say perpendicular, right? Now it's given that base is 3 times altitude. That means what we need to assume? We need to assume base, or we need to assume altitude? Tell me, my dear friend, tell me. It's given that base is related with altitude, right? So we need to assume for the altitude. Let us assume the altitude as x. Let us assume the altitude as equal to x, right? If this is assumed as equal to x, then what is the base? Base is 3 times the altitude. Then this b can be written as 3 times x, isn't it? Because this is the relation given to you, right? Base is 3 times the altitude. Now the question is that if the base is 3 times the altitude, find the base. Find the base. So it's very clear. Area is 96 meter square. This is a right angle triangle. So definitely this angle is considered as 90 degree, right? So what is the area of a triangle? We know the formula that area of a triangle, and if there is two sides which are perpendicular to each other, then we can say that area is half into base into height, right? So here we are having the value of area, put it over here, 96 into the LHS. 96 equal to half into base. Base is what? Base is nothing but 3x, right? What is perpendicular? Perpendicular is nothing but x, right? That altitude, right? Now just solve it. 2 into 96, 2 6 12, carry 1, 2 9 18, 1 19. 192 equal to 3x into x, which is equal to 3x into x, that is equal to 3x square, right? And 3 will divide this 192 in how much times? 3 6 18, 12, 3 4 12. So this will give you the value of x square equal to 64. Now just apply the square root into both sides of the equation, my dear friends, and here we'll get the value of plus and minus 8 for the value of x, because when you can do a square of minus 8, it will be 64, and a square of plus 8 is also 64. But x could not be equal to minus 8, because length or dimension of a triangle could not be negative, right? So that's why minus 8 is not considered, right? And we have our answers that x equal to 8. Now the question is that what is the base of the triangle? Base is nothing but 3x, and if we are knowing the value of x, put it over here, right? So this will be equal to 3 into 8. This will giving you the value of 24. So 24 meter is the base of this triangle. This is very big triangle because this is in meter. Okay. So 24 meter is the base. So how big this triangle is, right? So with this we can wind up today's session, my dear friends. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be prepared, and keep your preparations on the momentum on the top. Okay, happy learning, and put your doubts into the comment box. I will try to get time and respond to you. Thank you. Bye 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 bye.